what about snakes? Are snakes good or are snakes bad? Now, a lot of people really, really, really don't like snakes. I had a friend.
I had a friend.
And I said, snakes are pretty neat. You just make sure you know your stripes. And she said snakes really freak her out. And I
Telling
thought,
all secrets now.
we're not going to be very good friends when she finds out I have a pet snake. Snakes, really make good pets, especially some kinds. Now check your stripes. You don't want a pet coral snake. One good thing about coral snakes, though, is they rarely bite humans. If you leave them alone, they'll pretty well leave you alone. But there are a lot of kinds of snakes, and they all have different personalities, the different varieties. And in the same variety of snake, from one animal to another, they have different personalities. But some are just really docile. There's some real amazing things about snakes that, well, maybe the best way to explain it, maybe we should just introduce him to my snake, Jeffrey. Would you like to meet Jeffrey?
Sure. I've met Jeffrey. And I don't
Yeah.
have such a fear anymore.
Yeah, Jeffrey kind of won her over.
Yeah, he did.
I'd like to ask Christina if she could bring Mr. Jeffrey out to see us. And here he is. Hello, Jeffrey. I'm going to just put him right here on the table. He's very happy to be to Science Live, aren't you, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this little guy, yeah, and there he goes. Hello, Paige Manet. He says, I got to get out of here. He's got stage fright. Look at that. I have stage fright. Come on back out here. You're doing fine. He says, but all these people are looking. This is called a ball python. And this is the natural color for a ball python. Ball pythons come from central and a little bit also to the western part of the African continent. They are one of, you want to hold him for a minute? They're one of the tamest snakes in the world. They're very, very tame. She loves snakes, sort of.
Actually, I don't mind.
But he really, really, really
out
is
my
a very,
fear.
very tender little snake, isn't he? They have abilities and they do things. It's interesting how they move. And this guy, can you see how small diameter his neck is here? It's about the size of my finger. And yet, every 2 weeks, he gets hungry. And for dinner, he eats a full-size rat. And you think, how could a rat go down that little neck? And it's quite miraculous to see, but his neck swells way up. You want to come hold this guy for me for a minute? He says, he's camera shy, I think. What do you think?
Everybody's watching
You
the whole
can just hold
world's
him here for a minute. When a ball python is ready to eat its dinner, it does something quite interesting. It will find the prey that it's going to prey upon, and the prey cannot be bigger around than its body down here where it's fat. If it is, he can't eat it. And they somehow are able to judge that, and if they see that it's at least this size or smaller, then they'll go ahead and when they have just the right opportunity, they'll grab the prey in their mouth because they don't have hands. And it's fascinating. They're very, very slow moving, except when they get ready to strike for that prey, they do it at a lightning speed. And they wrap around it. It's amazing how, well, he's been good for you.
Can I pass that?
This is a male snake, by the way, that snake. But it's quite fascinating. And then they will hold it in that hug position for about 5 minutes to make sure the little heart is gone. And then they will start to eat their dinner. And it's really, really amazing that they can. In a fascinating way, every part of his body can tighten up and squeeze. And when they actually eat their food, they unlock their jaw so their mouth can open wider, because otherwise they never get such a big bite in. My mother would have hated that. And then they get the the little nose of the animal that's going to be their dinner. And they grab it, and then they squeeze it and kind of pull it in, and grab and pull it in. It's quite a thing to watch. Snakes are something to really be respected. I learned a great lesson in Brazil. I'm much, much, much more careful about what kind of snakes I pick up.